Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Reshma Tiwari with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Sardar Dham Bhavan at Ahmedabad virtually. Also lays foundation stone of Sardar Dham Phase 2 Kanya Chhatralaya. Prime Minister says the date of 9/11 is known for an attack on humanity. 20th anniversary of 9/11 attacks on the World Trade Center Twin Towers being observed today. President Ramnath Kovind lays foundation stone for National Law University in Allahabad. India-Australia holds 2+2 ministerial dialogue in the national capital. Agenda for dialogue covered a range of bilateral, regional and global issues of mutual interest. Over 73 crore 5 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccines administered in the country so far. Heavy rain lashes national capital, highest ever rainfall recorded in 46 years. Taliban cancels inauguration ceremony of their newly formed interim government in Afghanistan. And in US Open tennis, Novak Djokovic defeats Tokyo Olympic champion Alexander Zverev, sets up summit clash against second seed Daniil Medvedev. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated Sardar Dham Bhavan at Ahmedabad through video conferencing today. The Prime Minister also laid the foundation stone of Sardar Dham Phase 2 Kanya Chhatralaya on this occasion. The Prime Minister said that our efforts should continue to protect human values. Referring to the 9/11 terror attack in 2001, the Prime Minister said this date in the history of the world is known for the attack on humanity, but this date also taught a lot to the whole world. He said a century ago in 1893, Swami Vivekananda introduced the world to the human values of India at the World Parliament of Religions held in Chicago.
आज 11 सितंबर यानी 9/11 है। दुनिया के इतिहास की एक ऐसी तारीख जिसने मानवता पर प्रहार के लिए भी जाना जाता है, लेकिन इसी तारीख ने पूरे विश्व को काफी कुछ सिखाया भी। एक सदी पहले ये 11 सितंबर 1893 का ही दिन था जब शिकागो में विश्व धर्म संसद का आयोजन हुआ था। आज के ही दिन स्वामी विवेकानंद ने उस वैश्विक मंच पर खड़े होकर दुनिया को भारत के मानवीय मूल्यों से परिचित कराया था।
Prime Minister Modi also announced to establish a chair in the name of Subramanya Bharati in the Banaras Hindu University.
आज इस अवसर पर मैं एक महत्वपूर्ण घोषणा भी कर रहा हूं। बनारस हिंदू यूनिवर्सिटी में सुब्रमण्यम भारती जी के नाम से एक चेयर स्थापित करने का निर्णय किया गया है। तमिल स्टडीज, तमिल भाषा समृद्ध भाषा है, विश्व की सबसे पुरातन भाषा है और हम सभी हिंदुस्तानियों के लिए गर्व की बात है। तमिल स्टडीज पर सुब्रमण्यम भारती चेयर बनारस हिंदू यूनिवर्सिटी BHU के फैकल्टी ऑफ आर्ट्स में स्थापित होगी। ये विद्यार्थियों को, रिसर्च फेलोज को उस भव्य भारत के निर्माण में जुटे रहने की निरंतर प्रेरणा देगी।
This announcement was made on the 100th death anniversary of India's great scholar, philosopher and freedom fighter Subramanya Bharati. The Prime Minister added, the vision of Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat of Sardar Sahib is reflected in the Tamil writings of Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati. Referring to the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the Prime Minister said that Kheda Satyagraha under the leadership of Sardar Patel showed the unity of farmers, youth and poor people, which had forced the British government to bow down. He said the same inspiration and energy is still standing in the form of the Statue of Unity, the world's tallest statue of Sardar Patel, on the soil of Gujarat. Prime Minister Modi said the government is making continuous efforts to bring forward all sections of society who have been left behind. He said on the one hand, work is being done for the rights of Dalits and backwards. On the other hand, 10% reservations have been given to those who are backward on economic basis. The Prime Minister said the Patidar Samaj is known for its business skills and community service. He also greeted the people on the occasion of Ganesh Mahotsav and Samvatsari festival. Speaking on the occasion, Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani said the Sardar Dham project is a symbol of united India of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. He said this project will help in fulfilling the dreams and aspirations of youths in Gujarat. Union Ministers Parshottam Rupala, Mansukh Mandavia, Anupriya Patel, senior ministers of Gujarat government, along with MPs and MLAs from Patidar Samaj in Gujarat, remained present at the venue on the occasion. The word 9/11 invokes in our memories the events that sent shockwaves around the world 20 years ago. It showed the ugly head of terror, aided and abetted in the name of radical Islam by Al-Qaeda. Let us recall what happened in 2001 on this very day.
Al-Qaeda terrorists hijacked 4 aircrafts in United States with a sinister design. 2 aircrafts crashed into the World Trade Center towers in New York, while one of them crashed into Pentagon outside Washington. The 4th plane crashed into rural Pennsylvania as the passengers tried to take back the control from the hijackers. 2,977 people were killed in these dastardly attacks, raising the specter of terrorism. Most of those killed were American nationals, but citizens of more than 100 countries lost their lives as well. The mastermind behind these attacks was the founder of the terror outfit Al-Qaeda, Osama bin Laden. The irony is that most of these hijackers were of Saudi origin. All were trained in Afghanistan, and 4 of them had received training at the flight training schools in the United States. The incident led to global outrage with the then U.S. President George Bush calling for a global war on terror. U.S. troops were sent to Afghanistan under the Operation Enduring Freedom, which led to the ouster of the then regime in Kabul. Terrorists were hunted down and Osama bin Laden was killed a decade later on 2nd May 2011 in Pakistan's Abbottabad. The concerted move by the global community over the 20 years has exposed the nefarious designs of terrorists and underlined the need to weed out the menace of terrorism. Diksha Saxena, News Desk.
The United States has said that 21 American citizens were evacuated from Afghanistan yesterday through a chartered flight and overland route, bringing the total Americans evacuated over the past 2 days to 31. In a statement, White House National Security Council spokesperson Emily Horne said the U.S. government facilitated the additional departures of American citizens and lawful permanent residents both on a chartered Qatar Airways flight from Kabul and via overland passage to a neighboring country. Earlier on Thursday, the State Department informed that 10 American citizens and 11 U.S. permanent residents were evacuated on a Qatar Airways charter flight from Kabul's international airport. Reports say the Taliban have cancelled the inauguration ceremony of their newly formed interim government in Afghanistan. The ceremony was reportedly to be held today, the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 terror attacks. In the meantime, in Panjshir province, it was reported that former Afghanistan Vice President Amarullah Saleh's brother Ruhollah was killed yesterday. He was allegedly tortured by Taliban fighters. However, a news agency affiliated with the Taliban has denied the allegations and said that he was killed during clashes in Panjshir province. Meanwhile, even as commercial flights have resumed operations at Kabul airport, the international community remains skeptical about the Taliban's promises to allow people to leave the country and to ensure certain human rights.
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar today termed the India-Australia 2+2 ministerial dialogue as productive. In his opening remarks during the dialogue in New Delhi, Dr. Jaishankar said both the countries are meeting at a very crucial time when, along with the pandemic, the geopolitical environment is in rapid flux. He said the two countries with other like-minded partners should respond adequately to safeguard their national interests as well as ensure a peaceful, stable and prosperous Indo-Pacific region. Dr. Jaishankar said the meeting is an opportunity to review and take forward the comprehensive strategic partnership for another meeting between the Prime Ministers of the two countries later this month in the United States. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar are leading the Indian side in the dialogue. Australian Foreign Minister Marise Payne and Defence Minister Peter Dutton are leading the Australian delegation. The inaugural 2+2 ministerial dialogue was held following elevation of the India-Australia bilateral relations to comprehensive strategic partnership during the India-Australia Leaders Virtual Summit in June last year. India is committed to building a robust partnership with Australia for the security and growth of the entire region. India-Australia partnership is based on shared vision of free, open, inclusive and rule-based Indo-Pacific region. Australia joined the Malabar exercise last year and is participating in the exercise this year as well. The Malabar exercise is a naval exercise involving the United States, Japan and India as permanent partners. India-Australia economic relationship has grown significantly in recent years. India is the fifth largest trade partner of Australia, with trade in goods and services at 29 billion Australian dollars. The Indian community in Australia continues to grow with a population of nearly 7.5 lakhs.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Sardar Dham Bhavan at Ahmedabad virtually, also lays foundation stone of Sardar Dham Phase 2 Kanya Chhatralay. Prime Minister says the date of 9/11 is known for an attack on humanity. 20th anniversary of 9/11 attacks on the World Trade Center Twin Towers being observed today. President Ramnath Kovind lays foundation stone for National Law University in Allahabad. India-Australia hold 2+2 ministerial dialogue in the national capital. Agenda for dialogue covered a range of bilateral, regional and global issues of mutual interest. Over 73 crore 5 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccines administered in the country so far. Heavy rain lashes national capital, highest ever rainfall recorded in 46 years. Taliban cancels inauguration ceremony of their newly formed interim government in Afghanistan. And in US Open tennis, Novak Djokovic defeats Tokyo Olympic champion Alexander Zverev, sets up summit clash against second seed Daniil Medvedev. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the Midday News. President Ramnath Kovind today said that central and state governments are working with the judiciary for a better judicial system in the country. The President was speaking at the function of foundation stone laying for Uttar Pradesh National Law University and new building complex of Allahabad High Court in Prayagraj today. Chief Justice of India N.V. Ramana, many senior judges, Union Law Minister Kiren Rijiju, Governor of the state Anandiben Patel and Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath were also present at the function. Speaking on the occasion, the President said people have immense belief in the judiciary of the country, but still they hesitate to come to the courts. This situation should change, and it will only happen when all stakeholders come together and become sensitive. Talking about the recent inclusion of women judges in the Supreme Court,
हम सब लोग जानते हैं कि न्यायपालिका में महिलाओं की भागीदारी का एक नया इतिहास रचा गया. मैंने उच्चतम न्यायालय में 3 महिला न्यायाधीशों सहित 9 न्यायाधीशों की नियुक्ति को स्वीकृति प्रदान की. आज उच्चतम न्यायालय में नियुक्त कुल 33 न्यायाधीशों में 4 महिला न्यायाधीशों की उपस्थिति न्यायपालिका के इतिहास में आज तक की सर्वाधिक संख्या है. इन नियुक्तियों में भविष्य में एक महिला चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया बनने का मार्ग भी प्रशस्त हुआ है. सही मायने में न्यायपूर्ण समाज की स्थापना तभी संभव होगी जब अन्य क्षेत्रों सहित देश की न्याय व्यवस्था में भी महिलाओं की भागीदारी बढ़ेगी.
The President said that women generally have a tendency to perform their activities with judicial prudence. That is why we have to increase the number of women in the courts. Union Law Minister Kiren Rijiju said in his speech that the government wants to work in collaboration with the judiciary and taking all necessary steps to strengthen the judicial system. The President laid the foundation stone of the Uttar Pradesh National Law University also, which will be established in Jhalwa area of the city. Talking about the contribution of Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath said the proposed law university should be named after the first President of India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad.
India has administered over 73 crore 5 lakh doses of COVID vaccines so far under the nationwide vaccine drive. The Union Health Ministry said more than 65 lakh 27,000 vaccine doses were administered in the last 24 hours. The ministry said 32,198 COVID patients were recovered during the last 24 hours. With this, the national recovery rate has reached 97.49%. Over 3 crore 23 lakh people have recovered from COVID-19 so far. The country reported 33,376 new cases in the last 24 hours. Currently, India's active caseload stands at 3,91,516. The active cases constitute 1.18% of the total reported cases. However, the daily positivity rate stands at 2.10%. Union Minister of Labour and Employment, Shri Bhupendra Yadav, has said that the government has approved funds for converting 100-bedded ESIC hospital in Haridwar into a 300-bedded hospital. Addressing a gathering on the occasion of inspection of the site of employees' State Insurance Corporation Hospital in Haridwar last evening, the minister said that after completing all the formalities, the Bhumi Pujan would be done soon. He gave the consent to run the ESIC Hospital Rudrapur by the state government. Mr. Yadav said that e-Shram portal for common workers on 26th August has been launched, in which more than 20 lakh unorganized labourers have registered so far to resolve their problems. He said that the government has implemented a pension scheme for traders, which is being availed by a number of small shopkeepers.
Madhya Pradesh has reported 2,200 cases of dengue so far. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan held discussions with the collectors of districts of Monsoon, Jabalpur, Ratlam, Agar Malwa, Bhopal, Chhindwara and Indore, which are most affected by dengue. More from our Bhopal correspondent.
The state government will launch a special awareness campaign to spread information about the measures to prevent dengue on September 15th. District collectors of the affected districts informed that awareness campaigns and activities for prevention and control are being conducted. Necessary arrangements have also been made for treatment. Urban bodies, Asha and Anganwadi workers are conducting survey and fogging work intensively. A 10-bedded isolation ward is also being operated in all district hospitals for the treatment of dengue patients. Pooja P. Vardhani, IR News, Bhopal.
As the nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events is being organized by the government as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, in which we bring you a glimpse of India's freedom struggle every day.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. India's glorious fight for freedom is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the valiant struggle every day.
In the history of mankind, there have been rare instances where the introductory words spoken by a person have electrified the world as much as Swami Vivekananda's groundbreaking speech on this day in the year 1893 at the Chicago World's Parliament of Religions.
Sisters and brothers of America, it fills my heart with joy unspeakable to rise in response to the warm and cordial welcome which you have given us. I am proud to belong to a religion which has taught the world both tolerance and universal acceptance. We believe not only in universal toleration, but we accept all religions as true. I am proud to belong to a nation which has sheltered the persecuted and the refugees of all religions and all nations of the earth.
The speech by Swamiji has been oft referred by leaders from across the globe to remind the audience of the values which Swamiji's speech stood for: compassion, brotherhood, tolerance, and acceptance.
When Swami returned to the motherland, the Raja of Ramanathapuram in Tamil Nadu, who had sponsored Swami's trip to Chicago, accorded a grand reception.
He also drew the carriage carrying Swami Vivekananda, saying, Swami Vivekananda is the King of Kings.
Vinayak Narhari Vinoba Bhave was born on 11th of September 1895 in Maharashtra's Pune district. He is considered as the spiritual successor of Mahatma Gandhi.
In 1940, Vinoba was chosen by Gandhi to be the first individual satyagrahi against the British rule. Bhave also participated in the Quit India movement.
Post-independence, Bhave started Sarvodaya movement. He also started Bhudan movement at Pochampalli in Andhra Pradesh on 18th of April 1951. He walked all across India asking people with land to donate them, which he distributed to landless poor. He also campaigned against the slaughtering of cows.
Vinoba Bhave was a scholar, a thinker, and a writer who produced numerous books. Though he was deeply influenced by the Gita, he drew inspirations from the Quran and Christian teachings too. He breathed his last on the 15th of November, 1982.
On this day, Subramanya Bharati, one of the greatest poets of modern India, breathed his last. Bharati was born in Ettayapuram in Tamil Nadu on 11th of December 1882. He was a spiritualist and nationalist too.
From hymns to nationalistic writings, from contemplations on the relationship between God and man to songs on the Russian and French revolutions, Bharati wrote on diverse subjects. Bharati met Mahatma Gandhi, who was very much impressed by the multifaceted and fearless personality of Bharati, and told people to take care of him.
But he wasn't taken care of. His health deteriorated and he died on 11th of September 1921. It was recorded that there were only 14 people to attend his funeral.
The nightingale that sang from a solitary tree perished, but the songs linger on forever.
Today is the birth anniversary of another great personality of India, Paramasivan Subbarayan. He was born on 11th of September 1889 in Salem in Tamil Nadu.
He was a freedom fighter and diplomat and was the Chief Minister of Madras Presidency and a Union Minister in Jawaharlal Nehru's government.
He was the father of General P.P. Kumaramangalam, who served as India's Chief of Army Staff, and politician Mohan Kumaramangalam. He was also the grandfather of former Union Minister Rangarajan Kumaramangalam.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar, AIR News ke Sang. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
As part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The quiz is being conducted every Monday and Tuesday in morning news and will continue till the 15th of August 2022. India Post has joined hands as the logistics partner with All India Radio News for the Amrit Mahotsav quiz. Listeners can send their responses to the question over WhatsApp on 88265 46262 or through email on amritmahotsavquiz@gmail.com. One participant will be selected as a winner. The winner will be awarded an e-certificate and a token prize. celebrate 75 years of India's independence by participating in Amrit Mahotsav quiz with AIR News.
The Fit India Freedom Run was organized this morning in Satara as part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebrations. Youth volunteers from various Nehru Youth Centers in the district participated in this drive. The nation is paying tribute to Acharya Vinoba Bhave, the great social reformer Gandhian, on his 126th birth anniversary, who spearheaded Bhudan and Sarvodaya movement. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today paid tribute to Acharya Vinoba Bhave. In a series of tweets, Prime Minister Modi said, Acharya Vinoba Bhave carried forward the noble Gandhian principles after India attained independence.
On to sports. In US Open tennis, top seed Novak Djokovic defeated Tokyo Olympic champion Alexander Zverev to set up a summit clash against second seed Daniil Medvedev. In a tense and nail-biting semi-final clash this morning, Djokovic ousted the German fourth seed 4-6, 6-2, 6-4, 4-6, 6-2 and reached the brink of completing the first men's singles calendar year Grand Slam since 1969. In women's singles, rising British sensation Emma Raducanu will meet Canada's Leila Fernandez in an all-teenager title clash tomorrow. Heavy rainfall lashed many parts of the national capital today. An orange alert has been issued as the monsoon rainfall in Delhi breached the 1,000 millimeter mark, the highest rainfall in 46 years. India Meteorological Department has predicted that thunderstorm with moderate to heavy intensity rain will occur over most parts of Delhi, along with Gurugram, Noida, Faridabad, Karnal and Manesar. Talking exclusively to AIR News, DGIMD Dr. Mrityunjay Mohapatra says the active monsoon condition will continue for the next few days.
Under the influence of active monsoon condition, fairly widespread rainfall with isolated heavy to very heavy rainfall has occurred during past 24 hours over Haryana, Delhi, parts of West UP, Punjab and Uttarakhand, and also parts of Gujarat, Rajasthan and West MP. These active monsoon conditions are expected to continue for next 4 to 5 days, especially over central India and northwest India, in association with a low pressure system which is lying now over the northern parts of Bay of Bengal and expected to move west-northwestward across central India during the next 4 to 5 days.
There was waterlogging in several parts of the city, including at Indira Gandhi International Airport Terminal 3 after the rain. Regretting the inconvenience to passengers, Delhi International Airport DIAL said due to sudden heavy rain for a short period, there was waterlogging at the forecourt. DIAL said their team was immediately aligned to look into it and the issue has been resolved. Many flights were also delayed due to waterlogging. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. National capital Delhi is predicted to have generally cloudy sky with heavy rain and thunder showers. Temperature will rise from a minimum of 24 to a maximum of 30 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain and temperature will hover between 25 to 30 degrees. Chennai will have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. Maximum temperature expected to be 35 degrees. Minimum was recorded at 28. Kolkata will have a partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. It had a minimum temperature of 27 degrees. Maximum expected to be around 34. Bengaluru will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Hyderabad will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Sardar Dham Bhavan at Ahmedabad virtually, also lays foundation stone of Sardar Dham Phase 2 Kanya Chhatralaya. Prime Minister says the date of 9/11 is known for an attack on humanity. 20th anniversary of 9/11 attacks on the World Trade Center Twin Towers being observed today. President Ramnath Kovind lays foundation stone for National Law University in Allahabad. India-Australia hold 2+2 ministerial dialogue in the national capital. Agenda for dialogue covered a range of bilateral, regional and global issues of mutual interest. Over 73 crore 5 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccines administered in the country so far. Heavy rain lashes national capital, highest ever rainfall recorded in 46 years. Taliban cancels inauguration ceremony of their newly formed interim government in Afghanistan. And in US Open tennis, Novak Djokovic defeats Tokyo Olympic champion Alexander Zverev sets up summit clash against second seed Daniil Medvedev. And with that, we end the midday news.